Welcome guys, back to episode 10 of Gabe Plays Minecraft All the Mods 9 to the Sky. Last episode we did the max size fission reactors with max size boilers and max size turbines. And we ran into some issues in terms of supply and that sort of thing for those reactors. Also kind of had a meltdown, so I want to try and get that to be sustainable. So the way we got to do that is by using the induction cells. So let me see if I can I ponder this? Induction. Should be able to ponder this guy. So yeah, you make this big frame. It's got like in ports, out ports, and then on the inside, blah. On the inside, please, you put these induction cells in here, and they just store power. And then what we can do with this guy is, then we can use like a signal to say like when this is at 50% charge or lower, turn on the reactor. When it's 50% or above, like turn on the reactor or turn off the reactor. So we can run the reactor, and then we have this big buffer, and then we run the reactor, add this big buffer. I've been running the reactor a little bit still before that. The way I've done it here is basically like the exact same concept, except with a tiny buffer. So we've got the reactor here, with a wireless like a redstone link from Create, basically just wireless redstone signal going into here, the logic adapter, which basically is set to activation. So when there's a signal, it'll turn off. When there isn't a signal, it'll turn on, off, signal on, reactor on, signal off, reactor off. Then over here at the turbine, I've got this battery bank, this ultimate energy cube, which we use to make the induction cells. And this guy basically just like, it's really like basic rudimentary Minecraft logic. The comparator fills up to 15 based on state of charge, so at like 7 or whatever that is, that's about 50%. So when this goes down below 50%, then the reactor just kicks in, it kicks above, and then it's like over and over and over again. But if we can have like a bigger buffer with a huge induction cell, then that'll be better. So that's what I'm going to try to do today, is make a big induction cell and then get it so this reactor can be running a lot more frequently. We've still got these reactors running in the background. What I did, because this power was kind of like really on and off, and volatile, I disconnected basically this side of the base from that side of the base. So the reactor here, all it does is power the sodium factory over there and all the fissile fuel production down here. And then these reactors power all the stuff that we had before we had that big reactor. So all like our resource gathering and all the ME system, stuff like that. And then if you remember, to make the induction cells, we need lithium dust. And so in order to get lithium dust, what I've set up here is these evaporation chambers. And so I have got 2 sets of them. This one here will turn water into brine. And then the brine will go over here and turn the brine into lithium. And then if I can just get over there, it's a little messy. The lithium here in the rotary condensator, the liquid lithium which comes out of this will turn into lithium, and then we turn that lithium into lithium dust. So it just works like that. It's pretty simple. Lithium to lithium dust. So we're just automatically getting that. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. The catch here, and I'll show you guys now, is 2 things. So obviously, in the style of the last episode, I want to make the maximum size induction cell. So 18 by 18, 16 by 16 cells. So we'll need, like, based on my math, 4,000 cells. And, you know, I thought, like, we had a lot of resources. Like, I thought that looking over here, you know, 4 million, 4 million, 3 million, 1 million, you know, 1 million, almost 2, you know, we've got quite a bit of resources. But if I want to make 4,000 of these ultimate induction cells. It is going to take, we have 4.3 million redstone, and we need another 6 million. And we have 1.4 million gold, we need another 5.3. Same for the iron. The lithium is quite low, but we're getting there. The sand is we're pretty close. I boosted the sand with some netherite upgrades, so now those auto seeds are working pretty quick. And obviously we need osmium. And then, yeah, in order to do that, like, it's going to make like 4,000 of these, 4,000 of these, 20,000 of these, 340,000 steel cases, 64,000 advanced induction cells, 84,000 advanced energy cubes. And all this is going to take 54 million bytes. And if you remember, these like big crafters here, they're basically just 1 million bytes each, because it's just a 1 million mega cell. So we need to make like a crafter that's capable of like 55 million, right? Let me just double check. It's 55 or 45. 55 million bytes. And so basically what we want to do now, first step, is we want 1 million mega cell, and we want, let's go 60 of them. So now we're going to do this whole thing. It's going to make 14,001K, 4,004K, 1,016K, 564K, 256Ks, and then all 61 million cells. So I'm going to start this guy, let him craft. That's going to take a bit. It's going to be crafting these things using our like advanced setup over there for a little bit. And then in the meantime, while that's crafting, I'm going to upgrade our resource production, so we can get those like redstone and gold numbers up. So basically our whole setup over here that we set up early on for resources, you know, we just got one single line for each of it with the netherite upgrades. I'm just going to take these lines and maybe, I don't know if I'm going to double them or quadruple them. We shall see. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to like increase this while that's crafting those mega cells, and then hopefully we can like bump up our rate for resource creation. And then, you know, we might quadruple it and then use it for this. And then I don't know how much more, like how much bigger we could get in this mod pack, but maybe we'll disconnect it so we don't have to be worrying about like storage. Although since we put in these 81 million cell storage bytes, like we've been pretty chill here, going pretty slowly in terms of our storage cell usage. So yeah, let me do that, and then I'll catch up with you guys. Okay, guys, I finished our supercomputer mega ultra crafter. That is 60 million crafting storage and 20 mega co-crafters, so 80 co-crafting units. I'll show you guys here. 60 million storage, 80 co-processors. I currently have it set doing some energizing rods here to upgrade our like auto uraninite production that we set up a while back. Just like these ones are still blazing, and so I'd like to make them all dispirited instead. Same for over here. In addition to making the crafting the supercomputer, I also quadrupled our production of resources over here in this corner. Oh, crap. Just 1 second. Ouch. Let's head back up. Come on. Yeah, so I quadrupled our production of resources here. It's a little messy for my taste. I started doing it one way where I stacked them all vertically, but then the sieves like need a storage item beneath them, so I had to kind of stagger them diagonally like this to be able to put chests under each of them, then pull all the chests into this guy, and then that would then pull this gets all the items pulled in through the ME system. And I did the same for the other ones. They're all just staggered. All their items go into these guys. Holy crap, that is a lot of fluorite and iron nugget and prismarine crystals and kelp. I may have to upgrade the ME import. May have to put a second import bus on that one. And probably same for this one. So I gotta do that still. But we are getting a lot more like ore that's getting auto crafted here. So I once again upgraded our auto smelting situation down here. So we had these 8 emerald furnaces down here, all processing ores, and now I added 8 more just ultimate smelting factories up here to smelt all the ores and stuff. So that should be enough now. But yeah, we are now producing a lot more resources. We're still kind of lacking, I think, on what we need. If we wanted to get 4,000 of these guys, we're still missing quite a bit, but I just finished quadrupling up the resources, so we should be getting more now. Just the iron, gold, redstone, and lithium dust. Lithium, we're almost like halfway there now. So I'll let this go in the background for a bit and generate these resources up. We now have the ability to craft it. So yeah, let me do that. And I might clean up some things in the background. Might work on the base a bit more while that's all just like auto sieving and hammering all those resources. Okay, so I've been working a bit in the background here, guys. I realized that our resources from these chests were quite backed up still. All these like side chests were full, and so I switched it down here so that we have 2 import buses for the system pulling items in for each of these chests. So now it's not backed up when we're actually getting resources at like full speed. I'd say in terms of resources right now, at this stage, we're about like 2/3 of the way there for resources. We're like halfway on iron. Gold is lacking. Redstone is like pretty close, and lithium dust is just slow and steady. So still not quite there, but we're getting there. I do think I could probably make like I think you can fill them like partially without having to worry. So I might do like 1/4 and then 1/2, but I'll show you around a bit for more first before I get there. I've just been cleaning up the base a bit, so finally put in the quartz glass over here, although I didn't put it on the top. I think eventually we can like put in a row of crafters like that on that side as well. Over here by the mechanism reactor room, I've put in some walls and some lights down, so now it's not just like torches. This is some chipped pillar smooth stone bricks. I think they look decent. Just like something to vary it room by room, you know, something with a little bit of texture. The reactor's running. What I did over here is I made some polonium and plutonium setups here. So basically we were getting like quite a bit of nuclear waste from the reactor here because I had been running it for a while. And so what we can do with that is turn it into plutonium or polonium, and then these resources are then later used to make these plutonium pellets or polonium pellets, and then you can make like the next machine, which is an SPS. I think that's like what gets you like the dark antimatter, and then with plutonium or polonium, then you get the polonium pellets, and then you can make some other advanced machines, and you can make the like Mekasuit stuff. So where is it? Yeah, like the Mekasuit body armor, and we can make the fusion reactor frames. So just want to like start heading towards there. Some later stuff. So what this does is it ports out the nuclear waste currently just from this one port, and then it splits it amongst all these machines. So these isotropic centrifuges make the I think they make the plutonium, yeah, and then these solar neutron activators make the polonium, and then I just have the system outputting fluorite into these crushers to make the fluorite dust, which is just needed for this recipe. And then you also have to provide them with water, so I just have these sinks above them here. There is still one byproduct of this in that it makes it still makes nuclear like why can't I pull it up? Spent nuclear waste. Yeah, it makes spent nuclear waste here. So this is still something you like at the end of the day can't do anything with. What you have to do is just put it in these radioactive waste barrels, and then eventually over time it decays in these barrels, and in these barrels it doesn't like expect like no radiation gets out. put this like hazard block. It's just chipped concrete blocks just to give it like a this is the danger zone feel. But yeah, that's pretty good. I got 64 down here. I think it's enough. It's hard to tell. I'm not sure how I can check exactly the capacity of these buckets. But I think we would be seeing like nuclear waste in these pipes if like, because they have like a little effect when there's nuclear waste in them. If you can see that like green, those green particles. So I think we'd be seeing the green particles if these pipes were filling up. So I think we're good right now. I mean, we're still running the reactor pretty low. It's running at 30 now, just because we've got a bit more machines plugged in. I also messed a bit with the like not really the logic, but just the connection here. So I've now got all 3 turbines. They only put energy into this cube, and then I've got 2 pipes of energy just pulling energy out. So now that like the system like runs a bit better. Basically before I just had one little connection that went to the turbines and then down, and I think that was throttling the energy output of this cube. And so like our machines that were like over here would be like kind of sitting empty, and then they like shoot up, and then they sit empty and they shoot up because the rate of that cube couldn't keep up. But now that we've like optimized that, this like definitely goes down faster. But I just turned up the reactor to be able to keep up with it, so now it goes up pretty fast as well. With the 30 millibucket use rate. But yeah, I've made this like room. It's now like a more symmetrical room that just kind of matches the shape. Overall, we've got room here. I think over here in this left area is where I'm going to put the big induction cell, and probably we'll still have room over here to put the fusion reactor and the SPS, which looks like this. So it's not overly massive. I mean, maybe there's a bigger size, because I am making everything the max size. So if there's a bigger size, I will make it that size, but I don't think so, at least from what I've seen so far. But yeah, we'll put the fusion reactor, the SPS, and the induction cell over on this side of the room. I still need to decide on a roof. It's kind of tough because I packed these reactors and machines a bit close, so I can't really do something that looks good like aesthetically, like in this reactor room where I have these pillars and they're kind of like making some big supports. But I'll figure something out. On top of that, I've also just like been putting some work into the basement. So I just like fully expanded the floor here to match like what's above it, and I put the 3 wide like cobblestone layer all around here to make sure that like we're still leaving that like buffer room in the wall. The pellets, the polonium and plutonium pellets, get made up there by the reactor, and then I also set up over here this little sequence of machines to make the HDPE pellets. These guys here. So you basically can just pump in kelp in here, and this crusher turns the kelp into biomass. And then over in here, with the pressurized reaction chamber and water and hydrogen and biomass, we get what's called substrate. Yeah, so biomass turns into substrate, and then that substrate, we also get from that process, we also get ethylene, and then that ethylene we turn into liquid ethylene with the rotary condensator, and then over here we just have liquid ethylene and oxygen, and then when that substrate goes in, that's when we get the pellets here. So like based on the math, you pump in 1 piece of kelp over here, which we get from our sieves, we'll get out 1 pellet, and then obviously like the water just comes from the sink, gets separated into hydrogen and what's it called, hydrogen and oxygen, and those just go into these machines here. So like pretty simple, but it gets the job done, very effective. So now we can use these pellets to make HDPE sheets, which I already put the recipe for this guy just with an enrichment chamber in the system, and then also we can make these rods, which later use for this pigment mixer, which you can use to make dyes, I believe. Yeah, you can like dye things and stuff, so maybe that'll be useful later on when I need more organization. I mean, one thing that's kind of tedious is that I still use like manual dyes for all the ME pipes, so I just like grow a bunch of roses or use lapis or the cactus for the green. But I mean, for now it's working, so it's not bad for me. I think right now what I'm gonna try to do here is make the Mekasuit. So I think I just need to wait till I get enough polonium pellets, and then everything else here is pretty cheap for us now. So if I just like sit here for a bit and wait for the pellets. We're at 9 pellets. I mean, that's pretty close. We can make this guy, this guy. Oh, we could probably make the whole suit right now. Let's do that. Let's just let's put it in the system here to be able to auto craft it. And then I'll pump in like the armors into the system. Although I think you can automate making the armors too. Yeah, you can automate this like smithing table stuff, but I'll just do that right now real quick. Diamonds. Diamond. Pants. Helmet. And now we just need some netherite. Oh. Over here. Bam, bam, bam. Alright, let's see if we can just auto-craft this. That guy in there, that guy in there. There, that guy in there. Bam. Okay. Mecha. Craft. Oh, yeah, he's not gonna like that recipe. Oh, man, that's super annoying. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I got it all set up here. I just had to make the armors for the first time and then put them into the recipes like we had to do for the mechanism machines. Also learned that when you use these like smithing patterns, you still just put them in like a molecular assembler. You don't like set up a smithing table. I was over here trying to set up a smithing table with the pattern provider, and it wasn't working. It was like, really pissing me off, but it's all good now. Let's try and make the armor. Let's make that guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy. Let's see how they're going. Oh yeah. Body armor. Leg armor, boots. Come on, helmet. Helmet. Alright, we did have like really good enchanted gear that we got from the villager, but like, let's see what the Mekasuit armor is like. Let's try and see if we can charge it up. Should charge, but will it charge? Oh yeah, there we go. Sweet. Now I think we can make modules for this, which will allow us to then gain different abilities, just like health stuff, and we can dissipate lasers, radiation shield, jetpack. Honestly, I think the jetpack one is probably what we want to go for first. Yeah, let's try and see what it takes to make the jetpack one. Okay, seems pretty simple. I think we can just make this right off the bat. Jetpack. I think we can make all that. Yep. And this should all be fine. And we need to make the module base as well. It's all fine. Bronze nugget. Probably need to teach you how to make that. There we go. Alright. This is why I love the ME system. It's so easy. You can just pump all these things in here, and now I can just make this right away. I don't have to worry about like collecting all the materials or anything. I just pump in the recipes and boom, it's done. Let's see if we can get it now. Start. Nice. So I think how do I put this in here? Maybe there's some sort of Mekasuit installer. Let me check it out. Alright, we just have to make the modification station, and then we can put the upgrades into the suit. So let's do that real quick. Modification station. Put it over here. I love this system. It's so fast. The supercomputer just blazes through things too. Done. Okay, I wonder if we have to power this. Let's just plug it in the basement somewhere first. Also, by the way, we look sick. I look dope. This is super cool. Look Iron Man or something. It's sick. Let me put this down. Do you want big reactor power or small reactor power? I split the two power systems so that one wouldn't drain the other for now. Just go like this. Alright. How do I tell it to do it? Oh, interesting. Can I put it here? Oh, nice. Okay, now we need to charge the jetpack. Let's try that. You can see it's at 0% in the bottom right. Oh, it's hydrogen, right? No gas stored. So now I need to pump hydrogen into it? Okay, I am using the basic chemical tank connected to some hydrogen supply to fill up this suit. Alright. We can now fly. It's quite loud, but we are flying. Oh, damn. That is cool. It's also using like barely any hydrogen. Still saying it's 100%. There we go. Just ticked over to 99. This is sweet. I think eventually we can upgrade this to have like hover ability and stuff like that. I think I just need to like read into a bit more and figure out the upgrades. But this is super cool. This room is definitely massive. Making everything the maximum size is pretty crazy. Okay guys, I think this is going to be it for this episode. It's taken a few days just to accumulate some resources and work on this, on the base some more, and get the Mekasuit stuff. But I think this was pretty successful. We definitely have the grassroots for the endgame mechanism stuff. So I'm really excited about that. I think hopefully by next episode we can get into making the fusion reactor and have the induction cell done. So hopefully I do that for the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.